All right, here we are, episode 64 of Merriwether's World. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriwether Vorderbruggen, creator of www.foraging.texas, author of a big pile of stuff in my lap, Idiot's Guide Foraging, co-creator of the Wazoo Survival Bandana, author of 4 years worth of foraging articles for Charm East Texas Magazine. Basically a guy who really likes eating plants, but I'm not a vegan. I still eat meat too. Anyway, hey, here. Okay, we got people showing up. Good evening, Kathleen. So, yeah, that's me. And this is my world, broadcast live from my end of the dining room. Hi. Okay, so as usual, we'll start off with some housekeeping sort of stuff, and then we'll actually get into tonight's presentation. So tonight we're going to finish up the last group of molecules in the elderberry that have all sorts of wonderful medicinal properties. And then we'll move into a live demonstration of making an elderberry syrup with like real elderberry flowers. Woo! Okay. Hey, good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Lauren. Lauren, the name of the magazine I write for is Charm East Texas. Let's see, it is published in Lufkin. If you just Google Charm East Texas, I've been writing for them since 2016. So cool, monthly article there. Hey, Joe. Hey, Dennis. All right, so let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Actually, it's not boring. So as usual, you can find all sorts of great information about edible and medicinal plants over at www.foragingtexas.com. So even though it has the word Texas in the title, many of these plants are found all across North America and even all around the world. So it's beneficial even for you poor souls who aren't in Texas. Hey, Maria from Wimberley. Love that place. I was just there this last weekend. I'll be teaching, I set up like 7 classes about 5 miles out of Wimberley. Hey, Nancy. Oh, cool. Yeah, William. Yeah, then the Rona. Okay, so Foraging Texas. Those of you who are wondering about live classes, you can find them on the upcoming classes page on Foraging Texas. So check that out. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so there's that. I also, if you want to learn more by reading books or learning that sort of thing, definitely check out my Amazon store. I will say anything that you buy from there, I get a 6% sales commission from Amazon. So you know, it's not tacked onto your price. It's taken from Amazon, given to me out of the kindness of their hearts, because you bought something that I told you to buy. So it kind of helps me out here. Just saying. Okay. And then for those of you, a couple other things for those of you who want to link directly to my book. Let me just put this up there. Just a note. So the way the Idiot's Guide series works is they find an idiot to write a book for them. I don't get any royalties from this. I got a one-time check for writing this. And after that, I get nothing. So if you buy it from this Amazon link posted now, then I get 74 cents from Amazon. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Got to shout out to my sponsors who keep this show on the road. And for some reason, the link to the book did not go up on YouTube. So just I'm like at the level on YouTube where I can monetize or supposedly earn money from my videos. They just won't tell me how to do it. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay, so the Wazoo, let me just put this here. Okay, so the Wazoo Foraging Bandana covers what I and Nicole Appelian Dr. Nicole Appelian from the History Channel's Alone, 2 different series. We worked together to come up with, we thought, were the 12 most useful plants across North America for medicinal uses, for food uses, for vitamin C, for calories, for cordage, multi-use type things. And we put them all on a bandana, and it's totally awesome. And you should buy one, and that would be cool. Hey, Brian, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Mark. Hey, Eileen. Hey, Robert. Oh, good to hear you love the book, Robert. Hopefully you left a review over on Amazon for me. Okay, so Wazoo Survival, they are the ones that pay for the streaming software that I'm using. So they're the ones that keep me here every Wednesday night and doing the live donut shop at the beginning of the world here every weekday morning, 7:30 to 8. Working like crazy? Well, hey, you got a job. All right, another shout out to another huge supporter of me. And so you should support them. The Uncommon Bees. So they make all sorts of really cool infused honeys like elderberry or echinacea or ginger or garlic. My personal favorite is the Buzz Honey, which is infused with basically caffeine and taurine to fuel me as I'm going about my day. Think of this as like a honey Monster drink sort of thing, but with just the good parts of Monster and none of the bad parts. So really, really good stuff. They also have a whole line of CBD type stuff. Totally fantastic. All right, but wait, there's more. So, of course, Ricardo Shilly Shally. Most of you know him. All of you love him. From Herbs up there in Cushing, Texas. Full herbal shop. So you can get raw herbs there. You can get ready-made blends. This is a poke root, castor oil, beeswax, plantain, pine blend, just to help with some skin issue things that I have. So thank you, Roberto, for sending that to me. But if you need herbal help, he'll set up like a Zoom conference with you and discuss just what you're trying to accomplish, and then make some recommendations on how best he can help you with that. So really, really, really awesome there. Okay, another, and hopefully this will go. So, can he reach it? Yes, he can reach it. The Campcraft Outdoors, maker of fine canvas, heavy duty, the sort of gear, the sort of backpack you wear when you aren't staying on the trail. I spend a lot of time off the trail, tearing through bushes and branches and thorny things. And so plastic does not survive. Nylon does not survive. Kevlar might, but a Kevlar backpack is pretty damn expensive. The Campcraft Outdoors canvas backpack has been bomb-proof. It's also been weatherproof because it was hand waxed, so it's the waxed canvas. Been absolutely amazing for all my outdoor adventures. I highly, highly, highly recommend them. Made here in the US. They have a number of different types of packs and haversacks and satchels and some cool knives. We all love knives. So check them out and use the coupon code with them. Oh, I should shout out, all these have coupon codes. Okay, and wait, yet one more. Yay! So my favorite shop for getting like survival gear and stuff of that nature. So the Fear and Dread shop. So like this is where I get my, what we call the individual patrol officers kit. This is a vacuum packed trauma kit. So, for dealing with major traumas, if you come across a car accident, a motorcycle accident, something like that, I keep these in my bag, in my car. When I'm out hunting, I have one in my bag there in case someone, does something dumb. So they're just, I got them stashed all over the place. But Fear and Dread over in Vidor, Texas, if you're popping over there, over in East Texas, swing by them, mention my name, and get a discount there too. Okay. So, and then of course, I got a shout out to, some of you are actually watching it on my YouTube channel, but the Dr. Merriwether YouTube channel, there are hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of videos on all sorts of stuff, plant stuff and wilderness survival stuff, and me making stuff. There's probably some of me, accidentally being caught on fire because I am a chemist. Anyway, check it out. And cool. Whew. All right. So let me just zoom through here. Hey, John. Edna, Texas. Man, it's been a long time, John. You need to get me down there again. All right. Jenny. Yep. Hey, Rebecca. Cool. Okay. We're good. Housekeeping done. Let's get to why you're here. This is like week 4 of elderberry. Elderberry, I mean, it's such an amazing plant, and it's all over the place. It's all across North America, except for really the deserts, and even there, along some of the more constant streams and so forth, that I've even found it there. So an amazing medicinal plant, especially for strengthening the immune system, which with the whole COVID-19 thing going on, definitely something you want to do. Hey, Allie. So we talked a bunch of chemistry last week. We didn't get through all the chemistry, so we got one more class of molecules to talk about this week. And then we're actually going to make probably the simplest medicinal concoction you can make right now with elderberry. I got everything here, and everything is not a whole lot of stuff. So let's get right to it. Ta-da. Let's see here. If I do that. Okay. Ta-da, green screen. So just to go through this, last week, so the main difference between the flowers and the berries is the berries have the subclass of really powerful antioxidants, these anthocyanidins. The flowers do not. In all other respects, the flowers have more medicinal properties. But the berries have an extra antioxidant, and mainly the antioxidants, think of it as a guardian for your DNA. It also has some estrogenic properties, anti-inflammatory, strengthening the bloodstream. It does, however, increase the cytokine production, which is something you have to watch out. Side note, also, if you are on immunosuppressant drugs, say for some sort of autoimmune disease, or because you had an organ transplant and you're on the anti-rejection things, you cannot take elderberry, because elderberry will just, rev up your immune system. And so if you were trying to depress your immune system, you're just going to bring it back to normal, and all the benefits you were getting against the autoimmune disease from depressing your immune system go right out the window. So something to keep in mind there. Okay, we're going to jump through this. The flavonoids, we talked about those. Lots of cool stuff there. You can go back and look last week on Merriwether's World. It's up on YouTube. It's up on Facebook. So you can see it there. The phenolic acids were pretty much where we ended. We ended at the syringic acid, which had some cool things, the anti-diabetes, the anti-cancer, helping with cerebral bleeding, antimicrobial effects, antimicrobial, liver protector, neuron protector. So it is really useful, both if you are suffering from some brain degenerative disease that's shown to help there. But also in the case of a sudden acute trauma, like a really severe head injury, they've shown that taking the elderberry and this particular syringic acid in the elderberries helps the brain, kind of start repairing itself. So very, very useful there. And then the anti-endotoxic. What that is it's actually really cool. So endotoxicity, when certain bad bacteria get in your body, like food poisoning or a flaxatoxin or some of these, they produce poisons that are basically trying to kill you, so then the bacteria can eat you. The compound in the elderberry, the syringic acid, actually somehow protects the body from these microbial poisons. The mechanism, I wasn't able to figure that out, but there's some really interesting studies about that for helping you basically fight the bacterial poisons that come from certain bad bacteria. So really, really, really cool. Okay, so then the last group of compounds to talk about are the sterols. And let me just make this a little bigger here. Whoops, I need to do this. Will that work? I guess it really didn't get any bigger, so we'll keep my face here. Okay, so there are 3 sterols in there. And if you think about sterols, think like steroids or even cholesterol. They're in that same sort of class of molecules, multi-ring, 3 rings and 3 6-member rings and 1 5-member ring, and then shrubbery stuck to it. For you, Tina, actually, is Tina here tonight? Tina. Don't see Tina. Oh, Eileen, let me get back to that in a second. This particular class of compounds in the elderberry, in the flowers and in the berries themselves, are very temperature stable, which is good. So you can cook the hell out of this stuff if you're making, say, a candy, and you're okay there. Okay, before I continue with that, Eileen brought up a really, really good thing here. Okay, what about estrogen in cancer survivors who are suppressing estrogen? Should elderberry be avoided? From what I've been able to see and what I've been able to determine, yes, you do need to avoid elderberry if you are susceptible or fighting an estrogen-triggered cancer. So one of the compounds, and let me take that off there. That was a great question, Eileen. Oh yeah, right at the beginning, the anthracene. So it's in the berries. So you want to avoid berry-based elderberry products, but like tonight, what we're making is a flower-based one, and so it does not have the estrogenic hormonal mimics in it. So flowers okay, berries not okay, but even then, you never quite know. But overall, I would probably avoid all of them, mainly because there are lawyers in the world, and I don't want someone to come back and sue me. But in general, the flowers do not have the particular compounds that have the estrogenic stuff to them. Okay. Okay, so let's quick talk there. So the citrosterol. So men, pay attention here. So one of the nice things about this compound in the elderberry, found in both the berries and the flowers, is this chemical which helps reduce enlarged prostates. So yay that. Another thing it does is it helps block the absorption of the bad cholesterols from plating out in your blood vessels. So think it as kind of a liquid Drano for your blood, keeping the plaque from depositing and keeping it circulating, hopefully so then the liver can finally get it, break it down, and get rid of it. And then, like so many other elderberry compounds, it does offer some for the immune system. So it helps, one of the many things in there that helps strengthen the immune system. Okay, the campesterol. It's always hard to say these things. So this one has anti-cancer properties and anti-inflammatory properties. So there are a number of steroids that are used, injections to reduce inflammations. And so this particular compound works in that manner. So yay that. And then sigmasterol. So this one is cool. I really like this one. I kind of wish the plant had more of this in there. So earlier we saw different chemicals, and there is one that helps induce the cytokine production. And that is kind of the warrior cells of the immune system, which is great if you're fighting infection. You want lots of these warriors going in and attacking the infection. But every so often, the body goes berserk and starts, just attacking everything in sight, basically. It loses the ability, these cells, the cytokines, lose the ability to tell friend from foe. Relatively rare occurrence, but it happens enough that's something to keep in mind. The sigmasterol actually helps modulate that. So it keeps an eye on the cytokines, and if they look like they're starting to get a little crazy and wild, it yells at the body, hey, cut back some. So that's why, unless you are really prone to a cytokine cascade, and even like in this whole COVID-19 thing, they were talking about the cytokine, killing all these young people. Finding out that the elderberry has some self-regulatory powers in it. Now, every person is different. Every plant is different. So the amounts they might have of this particular compound may vary. So you cannot guarantee 100% that, I'm taking elderberry, I'm not going to get the cytokine cascade because it has the sigmasterol in it. Science shows it works on average, but there's always outliers, and you never know how it's going to respond for you. So if you start personally, I've been taking elderberry all through the COVID situation, still taking it every day. I have the elderberry infused material from Uncommon Bees, but the benefits from it are such that I figure it far outweighs the cytokine risk. And then also, the nice thing about it is if you're paying attention to your body, there are certain signals that you could be entering a cytokine cascade, such as a temperature above 106 for more than 14 hours. Make that 104. So a high temperature for a long time, extreme fatigue, and extreme difficulty breathing above and beyond. Yeah, Kathleen, she's been taking it every day, and she works in the COVID units. Thank you, by the way, for that, Kathleen. So keeping you healthy. The FDA does not support or blah 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 legalese. So yeah, there's that. Okay, but the elderberry, it does. It's a miraculous plant, because not only does it strengthen the immune system when things start to go out of whack, it kind of modulates down to kind of the human average. Now, keep in mind, if you have an autoimmune disease, that human average is actually still too high. So you can't rely on the sigmasterol to help with that. So just something to keep in mind there. Okay. So that is the end of the chemistry. Like I said, you can go back last week and watch, and we went actually over an hour and still didn't get through all of it. But lots of really fascinating chemistry and what the molecules do. Really, 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 really cool. So, okay, quick question. Any questions? Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Serenity. Hey, Julie. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Kimberlyn. Yeah, bummer, isn't it, about the autoimmune? The human body is amazing until it isn't. If a person, this is an interesting question. If a person has a gastric bypass, are they able to absorb elderberry? I have no idea. I've never looked into that. I don't know. My scientific wild ass guess, swag, is some of the compounds will be absorbed later on in the intestines, but I don't know. The sterols probably would be in there. Some of the anthocyanidins, but yeah, from what part of the body are they absorbed? That's a really good question. Here's again a swag, a scientific wild ass guess. If you drink coffee and you get a lift from the coffee, it's a good sign you're going to get a lot of the medicinal properties that are in elderberry, because they are all kind of, well, not all of them, but some of the really good ones are variations on the theme of caffeine, if you will. So something to keep in mind there. So if you have a gastric bypass and you drink coffee and you get the lift from the caffeine, there's I would say, a better than average chance, again, scientific, wild ass guess, that you would get some benefit from elderberry. So, okay, so let's talk about making elderberry syrup. It's, like I said, probably one of the simplest ways of preserving the elderflowers, using the elderflowers, extracting the medicinal compounds from the elderflowers. And, it does not have alcohol in it. So if you have issues with alcohol, you're okay. It does have a ton of sugar in it. In this case, sugar is a preservative, and you do need to keep it in the refrigerator. But in the refrigerator, it should be good for a year. If you want to go the extra step and sterilize it, like in a pressure canner, it's good until you open it. So let's get started. So first thing you need is a bunch of elderflower. And this is going to be the boring part of the show. Oops, can we do this here? Because the worst part of elderberry, and can I give me a second here. Okay. Can I stop. I guess I got to move the bowl. So one of the problems with elderberry is the stems have cyanide in them. So you need to separate the flowers from the stem. And since you want fresh flowers to do this, you don't want them to dry because you don't want any of the good molecules to evaporate. I did not pre-do this. So you're going to sit here and watch my Commit for Life t-shirt and me pull the, you know what? I wonder if hey, Merriwether, are you available? Can you come and help me? Yay, it's Merriwether. Woo, the crowd goes wild. Yay. So one thing I found, if you roll the flowers, can you help me? Look. Merriwether. One more day. Okay. Oops. Yeah. So just help me get the leaves. And what works good is just kind of roll them between your finger, and they come off from the stem. You don't have to squeeze hard. Just once you start doing it, you'll see the flowers coming off. But yeah, it's all fun for the whole family. Yay! Except I know better than to ask the other members of the family to come in. But I know my secret special child. Okay. And we don't have to get all of them off, just as most. Well, more than that.
He's a little stubborn.
So yeah, so boring, you can, this is like when you want to flip over, I don't know if something's on TV or something. But like I said, you want to use the flowers as fresh as possible. So these were harvested after 7 o'clock tonight. If you get a few stems, that's okay. But you want to, mainly get the flowers. Yeah, you're getting it now. Oh, you know what? I guess it helps if I do that. Yeah, okay. Yep. People are saying, oh yeah, they kind of know it's your birthday.
Oh, okay.
I kind of told them. They're all excited. Hey, maybe they'll get her gifts. I don't know.
Definitely.
So back when Merriwether was my co-host, she had a little wish list up on Amazon. All right, so yep, working away. Usually, so there's a term called grabbling, which is usually what herbalists call the process of stripping leaves off plants. I don't know if it counts for flowers off elderberry, but we'll assume it does. I have an idea. What happens if I do this? Then it goes everywhere. No, that's all right. But the more the merrier. So while I'm doing this, I can talk about the sugar. So the syrup itself was pre-made. It is 3 cups of granulated sugar dissolved in 1 3/4 cups of just water. I did heated up the water, but I didn't bring it to boiling because along with the that's plenty good. You're man, she's like a dog on a bone here. Awesome. So 3 cups sugar, 1 3/4 cup water. Heat up the water, dissolve the sugar in it, along with 12 500 milligram vitamin C tablets. And that's to help somewhat preserve the stuff, but also just the sugar and elderberry together by itself is really, really, really sweet. And so the tartness of the vitamin C tablets helps kind of change that some and kind of makes the flavor a little more interesting, in my opinion. People are singing to you. Wow, lots of
Thank you.
Yeah, Jeffrey. So all these videos are on YouTube too. YouTube also. I posted the link earlier on. Here, let me post it again. Whoops. Whoop-a-doo. All right, there's that. Oh, and here's a great question. Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. What's an acceptable amount of tiny stems with the flowers? 1%. You know, you want to minimize it, but here, let me do something here. Will this work? So if you see, pretty much most of the flowers are taken off the stem. Whoa. You really want to minimize how much stem, but if you get some, you know, it's not going to be terrible. But again, there are lawyers. There's more here. She's like looking around. So yeah, let's go with, let's say, 1 to 3%. You don't want 5%. You really want to try and get as much off there as possible. Okay. Whoops, man. For some reason, I have elderberry flowers falling down into my sock.
You make excellent projectiles.
Yeah, they are flinging all over the place. Occasionally, you'll get slightly ripe flowers that are brown. You just pull those off. Another thing, I don't rinse them. I let them sit a little bit to let the spiders and bugs come out. And
spiders.
Well, oh yeah. So, oops, Merriwether has this thing against spiders. It's like me and squirrels, her and spiders. So
my arch nemesis.
Yep. Arachnid nemesis.
Arachnemesis.
Yep. Okay, so here's the thing. You want to actually, can you hand me one of the jars? Yeah, with the. Let me just pop this. Can you keep working on that? And I'm going to babble some here. So let me switch cameras here. Okay. Oops, wrong jar. Can you get? Oh, never mind. I had them here. Okay, so we have the canning jar. Your basic 1 quart jar. Ew. Okay, that one was
crusty.
Yeah, that was. Okay, so we have a fresh, clean 1 quart. You really want to get as many in here as you can, because the more elderberry flowers you get in there, the better the flavor is going to be. So ideally, if you can get enough to fill it up to the shoulder, that's what we're after, but that takes a bit. But I find you use the regular canning funnel to get the flowers in there. How are we doing? All right. We set that there. The other thing, along with the vitamin C, as kind of a preservative, I also throw in a lemon. Wow, it's like glowing lemon. And so we're going to slice that up into some thin slices. You know what? I'm going to do it on this side because Merriwether is standing on that side, and I don't want to stab her in the thigh with a knife.
Much appreciated.
So, you know, we don't have a whole lot of room here. I was considering for a brief moment in time doing the show over on the kitchen table, but there's all sorts of stuff going on there, so decided not. So lemon, you know, average size lemon, and then you want to cut it into rings fairly thin. Oops, a little thicker than that. Oops, so your basic lemon slice sort of thing there. So that in conjunction with the vitamin C gives it a nice flavor. So we'll cut that up. Merriwether is just going to town on the flowers. Oops, my finger disjointed. Yeah, again, we need the spiders to go after the mosquitoes. And especially since here in Harris County, they've started finding mosquitoes with the West Nile again. So that's always fun. And by fun, I mean, you know, really sucks. Okay, so I got the lemon sliced up. I need to wipe my blade because this is carbon steel. And it will do all sorts of funky things. I'm going to let that sit there so I can accidentally stab myself with it later. Okay, so we got the jar. You know, I'm going to take the funnel out because trying to pour elderberry through the damp funnel gets you nowhere. So I'm going to put like 2 lemon slices in there to begin with. Can you hand me the big thing? Yeah, that. I'm lucky she speaks dad. Okay, so
it's not pea.
Yeah, so this is the 3 cups sugar, 1 3/4 cups water, and 12 500 milligram vitamin C tablets, all, you know, mostly dissolved. You can see the vitamin C, it still left some like starch and filler and stuff in there. That's okay, because after this is sat and soaked for 2 days, 48 hours, then you go through and strain everything out and get it nice and clear, and then you're good to go. How are we doing on that? Okay, man, wow, she's rocking. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't have enough elderberry out there right now, and it's kind of looking like that was a good assumption. I don't know how much of the elderberry. I'll take that one. So sometimes you get the elder flowers that are really on the far end of being done, and they require a little more effort. Yeah, I'll take that. So if you can see on the back, like the ones, I don't know if you can see it, the brown type stuff, that requires a little bit extra care. So I'm just going to pull that off, and that one, and those. Well, you can see there's still quite a bit of the stem left, but then the rest of the, let me pull that there. So yeah, hey Eric. Yep, we are actually doing stuff tonight. Hopefully, well, how are we doing on the? Oh, we're coming along really good. I'm just looking through. Man, you're like a pro at this, Merriwether. She's good. I need to like rent you out. Hey, Ricardo, are you here tonight? We got a worker for you. I can vouch for the quality of her work. Can I have the bowl for a second? Let me just see here. Okay. So we're coming along really well here. We'll set that there. I can join in now too. We're back at this camera, so just so you know. Like, I don't know if you can see that. You know, like that stuff you don't want in there. So in other news, the Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music, the trailer came out, what, 2 days ago? So those of you who have been longtime fans know I am a huge Bill and Ted fan. They basically were somewhat responsible for making me the person I am today, for better or worse. I've forced my family to watch the films multiple times.
Oh yeah.
You can hear the enthusiasm in Merriwether's voice. But yeah, I'm so the first trailer, I gotta say, I was a little underwhelmed. Ooh, look how good she does and how quickly she can. I need to teach you how to like butcher a hog next. So, but yeah, if you're a Bill and Ted fan or want to see, one of my founding, be excellent to each other sort of philosophy type dudes, they would be it. Oops, I got a little too many stems there, so pull those off. Oh, more people wishing you happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a feeling like, oh, hey, it's Tina Marie. Hey, Tina. You got to pop down here and say hi to Tina.
Hi, Miss Tina.
I'm trying to get her out to your place to hunt pigs there, Tina. Whoop, spider. Oh, a little tiny. I don't know if you can. Oop, where'd it go?
Right there.
Little tiny spider. All right, it's not going to hurt. Here, we'll put it over here where I can eat it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so the lady from Wimberley. I did not realize Wimberley has tarantulas. So that was cool last weekend, seeing a tarantula. Like, not way out in West Texas. I always pictured them, way out in West Texas. I didn't realize the hill country had them. This thing was big. So, of course, I took a picture of it. And then it crawled onto my hand, and that was less cool than I expected. And so I responded in a not so cool thing. It didn't hurt the spider. Got to protect the spiders. But yeah, it did startle me, and I might have shrieked just a little because suddenly there's a big spider on your hand, going, are you food? You look like you could be food. And I try not to be lower on the food chain than I normally am. So a peace treaty, that's a good thing to do. I will tell you, this is good exercise on there because I'm holding my arms up and out like this, and it's starting to
burn.
Yeah, it's like herbal exercise. Another benefit of being an herbalist. Yeah, you got them all. You're down in berries there, bagworms. So I have 3 different stands of elderberry, and 3, yeah, technically 4. But one has kind of grown together like Dallas and Fort Worth. So 3 major different stands of elderberry throughout my yard, and 2 have gone to berries, but 1 still had the flowers. So I was pretty excited that we'd have enough here. So in the off chance that we don't have enough flowers to meet the amount we want, I do have a secret ingredient waiting to bulk it out some if needed. Whoops. Spider?
No,
just love. Okay. So what else is going on? Oh, those of you who were at the donut shop yesterday but not today, the truck is back up and running. It was just a bad battery, so I put in a new battery, and I put an extra powerful one in there because I don't want Merriwether to end up stranded anywhere. So I'm willing to overpower the truck for her safety. Plus, you can never have too much power. Okay, how are we doing? Let's see. I think we're pretty close. Oh, there's one. Gonna poke around. Once you get towards the end there, it just looks like a bowl of popcorn.
or just use 2 bowls.
Or use 2 bowls. Yeah, that would work. I probably should have had to. So we're like throwing the bones, the elderberry bones, just here on my desk. Well, my desk, the dining room table. So we're gonna have to go back and clean all this up when we're done. Otherwise, I'll be banned from there too, and I don't want that to happen. Oh, this one is, they're on there good. All right. Yeah, I was worried that it was, that's I was worried that it was the alternator, but it was the battery, so we're good. It's a 2009 Tacoma. 2006 Tacoma. 2006?
Yes.
Holy moly. You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
My car's a 2004.
Okay. All right. So 2006 Tacoma. I had the front U joint go out, but that was actually a recall thing. So it was covered. And I had a bad wheel bearing. And what do we got? Almost 220,000 miles on it. So that thing's a beast. I'm pretty sure that when Merriwether steadily goes off to college, the truck will stay here and it'll be passed on to the next. But
Peace sign.
oh, okay, there's one more bit here. Okay, you want to hold it up to the camera? You want to get your face in there too? Okay, so that's what we have. Can we carefully dump it in here now? Then I'll take care of that spider.
Two spiders.
Two spiders. Okay, we're good.
All right, you just.
And then try and get them in the. Oops. And then we'll get. Let me know when you got about half of them in there. So you get about half. Okay, we're gonna put in another lemon slice.
Oh, there's another spider.
Okay. Yep. Spiders need love too.
God.
Let's put it on me.
Receive him.
I shall.
He hath received the. It's dropping.
Yeah, there's another.
Ooh. Small arachnoids.
There we go. And we're gonna put one more. Okay, so mission not really accomplished. We're barely half full, but I was ready for that, and so I was thinking of the different herbs that I have, and I decided goldenrod would taste good with the elderberry. So this is dried goldenrod. Thank you. And oops, I'm just going to give a scoop of that in here. Basically just to bulk it up some. To me, goldenrod has kind of, I hope people are seeing this. Yeah, okay. Has kind of almost a ginger or licorice-like flavor. Yeah, oh yeah, you can say goodbye if you want.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so, I put it in there. So, like I said, ideally you want to get up to the shoulder, but we're not going to have that much in there. Oh, you know what? I still have some lemon, so I'm going to use the lemon to mop up the elderberry flowers and throw that in there. Okay, and now can he do this without making a mess? So far, so good. Okay. So we're about that far. You know what? I'm just going to pour all this in here and go up to the edge. Okay. So at this point, we got the things in there. Here's the important step, because you want to let this sit for 48 hours. Probably want to put it in the refrigerator. You know what? There's still some dry stuff here. So, hey, could you bring me a spoon, please? Or a knife, like a butter knife? or a chopstick or something I can poke things with. Oh, you want to be on camera? Nope. Okay, it was the other one. Okay, so you want to kind of poke around because you want to make sure there are no air bubbles or anything like that in there. All right. So what I'm going to do, okay, so you can see we got some floaty area. For just a little bit of time, I'm going to put a cap on it, and then I'm going to shake her up and get it all mixed up. But you don't want to leave the cap on there. The reason being is you have sugar, you have elderberry flowers. On the elderberry flowers is a natural yeast or wild yeast. So if you leave this capped, the pressure is going to build up. So the yeast is going to actually start eating the sugars. You know, I'm just going to top this thing all the way off here. The yeast is going to start eating the sugars, producing carbon dioxide and alcohol. So the alcohol, yay, alcohol. But if you don't have some sort of vent or lock on it to vent off the CO2 that is forming, eventually you're going to blow the bottle up. So, like I said, we have the lid on just during the shaking process. Make sure all that is in there. It's already tasting good. All right. I'm going to scrape the stuff in there. In you go, in you go, in you go. Okay. Then we have some cheesecloth. And we're just going to put that over the top. And then we're going to screw the lid down. So put the cheesecloth on. Put the ring on top of that. And now I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator when I'm done here and let it sit in there for 48 hours. And then twice a day, I'm going to take the cheesecloth off, put the lid on, shake it really well, get it all mixed up, stirred up, and then put the cheesecloth back on and let it sit there and just permeate. And then after 48 hours, I will, sugar. After 48 hours, I will strain it through some more cheesecloth, the several layers of cheesecloth, because you want to get everything out. Sugar. Strain it out and into a fresh jar, not a nasty one. I got this one. I think it'll look cool in this one. And then use it or keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. So how do you use this stuff? Well, I'm glad you asked. And I want to make sure I have my notes. Okay. As I do things a little differently. But the common way then is, so you want to mix it in with just like some water or tonic water or carbonated water or something like that, because straight as a syrup, I guess you could take like a tablespoon a day for the medicinal properties. But really, it's best used as a medicinal cocktail type thing. So you can make different cocktails wherever it would call for a simple syrup in the cocktail. You would use this. Yes, Jackie. Yes, I am. So you can use that as a simple syrup in cocktails, or you can just mix it with like carbonated water to make a fizzy sort of elderberry, and in my case, elderberry goldenrod kind of ginger ale-y sort of thing. So that is good. And then as far as how much to how much, you want to make sure you have at least a tablespoon of the syrup to get your medicinal properties, and then add things as needed to get the flavor where you want it. You can go more than a tablespoon. 3 tablespoons. The thing is, then you kind of go through the syrup pretty quickly. You saw it took a while to get the flowers. Like I said, I still think this is the ratio. It's a bit light on the elderflower, but that's every elderflower I had available. Normally, like I said, you want to have the jar just about up to the shoulder with elderberry, and then the syrup on top of that. But it'll still be good. What else we got going? I'm just looking at my area here, and it's like it snowed. What time is it? Oh, cool. Okay, so I managed to fill another hour with random babbling and herbal knowledge. Cool. So I'm assuming most people took off, and they're just going to come back and watch the reruns there and just jump to the end. But let me throw this out there. For those of you who want the recipe, whoops, where'd the recipe go? Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? YouTube has a limit of how many characters I can post there. So those of you on YouTube may not see this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so here are the ingredients. And then here are the instructions. Yep. Okay, yeah, and I can see right now. So we're just going to bottle the syrup. And let me follow that up. Please stand by with the second half of the instructions. Okay. End result, really super easy. Somewhat messy. You might want a slightly larger work area, get your family involved. But half a lemon, as many elderflowers as you can gather, 3 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of water, 12 500 milligram vitamin C tablets. Mix the vitamin C, the sugar, and the water together. Make sure all the sugar is dissolved, and then in your jar, start getting as many elderflowers as you can in there. If you don't have enough elderflower, you can also add things like mint leaves or other type edible leaves and flowers, honeysuckle, the Turk's cap, any of those things will give a good result. Whew. Okay. Oh dear. Super good screenshots for this show. I don't even want to know. Wow. Okay. 8:57. Talk about next week. Next week, if everything goes as planned, we'll be moving out of the plant world and into the world of elephant conservation. Tribe member Chris Hamblin, helicopter pilot, is also deeply involved in elephant conservation and does lots of work with elephants around the world. So he's going to be here next week, and we're going to talk about elephants and what you can do to help elephants too. So that's really cool. Hopefully Merriwether can pop in for a bit. What else is going on? Okay, and then just the usual daily show. I got to tell you, the 7:30 to 8 o'clock, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. show, I'm struggling for topics. So if you have some idea of what you'd like me to talk about, throw something out on Facebook, and I'll see if I can fill up a half hour on it. I'm suddenly having so much more respect for radio DJs who every day go on the air for like 4 hours with all this stuff. And day after day. Hey, Brendan, haven't seen you in a while. Wonder if the locusts will affect the elephants. That's actually an interesting question. Because of the amount of vegetative matter that the locusts eat, it could impact the diets of elephants. Here's another thing that we'll be talking about. Elephants can get herpes. There is an elephant herpes out there that is wreaking havoc on newborn elephants. Basically, the first 5 years of the elephant's life. It is in danger of dying from elderberry herpes, elephant herpes. And so just weird things like that. Jessica, summer mushrooms and rain. Yes. I know in my neighborhood, a lot of the horse mushrooms have been popping up, but they also, you need to be able to tell them from the green vomiter and the death cap and the destroying angel. So something there. Ooh, indoor gardening. That's a good topic too. Yeah, I was actually wondering, I'm thinking the amount of prunella you would need would be insane. But elephants, so mainly in the wild, they're not sure how prevalent the elephant herpes is in the wild, because usually they don't have the ability to dissect the dead elephant babies in Africa. It's more like at zoos and other captivity, and in India, where elephants are used a lot as laborers. So yeah, and actually the Houston Zoo is one of the leading researchers in the whole elephant herpes cure type stuff. So pretty cool. Ooh, hydroponics, another good topic. Okay, it is 9 p.m. Wow. Good timing. Thank you all. I am going to shut it down. I'll go through and check the questions if there's anything I need to answer. I also need to clean up the huge mess I've made here. But that's okay. It was worth it for you all. All right, tribe. Love you very much. See, hopefully, a lot of you tomorrow morning. Other than that, take care. Stay safe. Wear your mask. It looks like the COVID is popping up again. So you don't want to end up with Kathleen Soliu. She works in the COVID ICU down in the medical center. But she's also a redhead that prides herself on stealing people's souls. So, you'd hate to go in, for COVID and lose your soul in the process. Okay. At that point, really time for me to shut it down. Love you all. See you tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.